Timer.
I wonder how many of you woke up this morning and the first thing that popped into your head was, I am so thankful for my comforter, or thank God that I have a restroom with clean water in it. Or I wonder how many of you have gone through financial difficulties in which you thought to yourself, why is this happening to me? This is so unfair. Well, I have had both of those moments throughout the course of my life. The latter one occurred around 9 years ago on my way to my first piano evaluation. And when I first started playing the piano, my family was very financially unstable. So I remember my mom trying her best to accommodate for my finances, for my private lessons, but we all knew that it was taking a toll on my finances. So it basically got to the point where it was so bad that my mom couldn't even pay her phone bill every single month. And eventually she told me that this was going to be my first and last year playing the piano because even though she wanted to support me, we physically could not maintain the finances. So the specific event that we're going to be talking about is the moment where we were going to my first certificate of merit evaluation, which is basically a yearly test in which people who play musical instruments can test their skill and increase in their levels. So we were on our way, but we were running a little bit late because my mom was still getting used to the streets, and this was in an unfamiliar place. So we were going, and we were running late, so I started getting a little anxious because I wanted to do my best on my first exam. And also, there was a car accident along the way, which delayed our trip even further. And on top of all of this, my gas started running low, and we didn't have enough money or time to be able to solve this problem at the time. And my mom couldn't even call my piano teacher to explain what was going on because we weren't able to pay the phone bill that month. And I remember feeling so frustrated because I felt like my finances were largely affecting my ability to be grateful and to do the things that I want to do. So my mom was so frustrated and she didn't know what to do. So she just parked in the middle of a random gas station. And I remember her looking at me and she just looked at me in my eyes and she started welling up with tears. And seeing that was so hurtful for me because I didn't want my mom to be upset because of our finances. But when she started crying, I also started crying with her, obviously. So here we were, just two random girls in the middle of a random gas station. We didn't even know where we were. We were just crying our eyes out for a couple of minutes. And we decided after that couple of minutes that we should get ourselves together. So my mom went into the gas station and asked the cashier if she could borrow a phone. So he graciously lended us a phone so she was able to call my piano teacher and explain what was going on. And the evaluator was extremely gracious and allowed me to take the exam even though I was late to the evaluation center. And she actually, after the performance, commended me for being able to get through it very well and perform very well, even though I was going through an obstacle before that. So in that moment, I felt a sense of joy and accomplishment in being able to get through this obstacle, and I was able to find joy in the small moments. And I realized that joy doesn't come from financial perfect or a perfect financial situation or the perfect timing for everything or even what I wanted, but that it came from the small moments in which I was able to find joy and find gratitude in that joy. So fast forward around 9 years, I actually revisited this valley that I have of gratitude this past weekend when I went to Mexico for a missions trip. So we actually, a group of around 300 of us from all different campuses, went to a missions trip to San Telmo, which is a city in Mexico. And throughout this experience, I really experienced a lot of things that I would not have experienced if I was just living here in Malibu. So some of the circumstances that we faced were, first of all, we weren't allowed to use the water there because the water system is very different there in Mexico. And so we had to use a container that was brought to us for brushing our teeth or drinking water. And another circumstance that we had was we weren't allowed to use the restrooms there. So if you can imagine 300 of us not being able to use toilets, sinks, or brush your teeth and use running water for around 3 days, that probably not a pretty picture, but that's what we went through. We basically had to, since we didn't have access to sinks, we had to brush our teeth and use a dirt road as our sink, and we basically used like porta potties for around 3 days. And I feel like this was such a new experience for me. I had never experienced something like this. We also, it was extremely cold over there, so at night we would just get in our sleeping bags on the cold hard floor, all 300 of us, and try to like cuddle like, next to each other to stay warm. And I remember reflecting back on this experience and just thinking how grateful I should be for the things that I have here. And not only in Malibu, but just in my family and my life in general. So I just want to reflect back and just realize that my values in life are so much more important than just having perfect situations, but that it can come from the small things in life in which I'm able to find joy and gratitude in. So to sum up all of this, I want to end with a quote by the probably very credible Tumblr.com. But the quote, the quote that sums up all of these experiences is happiness isn't about getting what you want all the time. It's about loving what you have and being grateful for it. Thank you.